state, and some are really laughing at her. She made this point that Pahuna was the first film to be made from the region, when actually there have been a number of films, number of talented actors, actresses, musicians, and also journalists who have come out from that state. At the same time, she said that this is a state affected by insurgency, when Sikkim is a peaceful state for that matter. And this is what a lot of people are saying, that was she not informed? Had she not done her homework before taking to stage? So while her film got a standing ovation at the Toronto International Film Festival, she faces a backlash on social media for making those statements. All right, you are seeing pictures of Priyanka Chopra on your screens, and this is a time when she is facing a lot of backlash. She's facing a lot of comments on social media from various representatives of Sikkim, from actors, actresses, filmmakers from the state as well. Let me try and get you some of those comments as well. Yes, so she was speaking at the Toronto International Film Festival. She said Sikkim is a state troubled by insurgency, and Pahuna, a film produced by her company, is the first to come out of the region. And many people from the state of Sikkim pointed out that Sikkim is one of the most peaceful states in India, and some of the most compelling films, some of the very strong films in India have come out of that region. She even spoke to newspapers and media and said that Sikkim is a small state in the northeast which never had a film industry or anyone who made a film from the region. This is the first film ever that's come out because it's very troubled with insurgency and troubled situations. This is something that's really disturbed people. She also added that this is a film, she spoke about a film, that this is a film about two children and their perspective on the refugee crisis, on being moved from one place to another. But the truth is that several films have been made in the state, even though the film industry there is small for the moment. Several talented filmmakers have come out from that area, and those films have premiered. All right, we have Mr. Ugail Gatso, a minister from Sikkim, joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Gatso, what do you feel about the kind of statement that Priyanka Chopra has made, calling Sikkim a state hit by insurgency, also going on to say that her film is the first to come out of the region? Do you think she's done a disservice to the people of Sikkim by saying something like that?
Hello? Hello?
Sir, can you hear us? Mr. Gatso, can you hear us?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Mr. Ugail Gatso, can you hear us?
Yes, yes. Hello?
Yeah, so Mr. Gatso, I just wanted to ask you, you're probably aware of what Priyanka Chopra said in Toronto during the film festival. She said that Pahuna, her film, is one of the first to come out from the region. She also said that Sikkim is hit by insurgency. What do you feel about these statements, sir?
This is a really, very bad news for Sikkim. We are feeling really sad and, disappointed. Now, he has already said, now, we thought that he has already said, now, he has done some
So, Mr. Gatso?
Yes. Hello?
Yeah, so Mr. Gatso, you were saying that she should apologize.
Yeah, she has already done it, by our company. Hello?
Yeah. And,
Hello?
do you get a sense, Mr. Gatso, that Priyanka Chopra was not aware of the contribution of Sikkim? There have been so many talented people, talented musicians, talented actors, sportspersons, and also journalists who have come out of that state.
Yes, Sikkim has produced many talented people in every field, even in political or social organizations. We have contributed a lot for our country. So this is the first time this sort of thing is happening because of our irresponsible statement. I don't know where she got this information. I do not know, because she has never come to Sikkim to study or she has never researched anything about Sikkim. Sikkim, as you all know, Sikkim is a very peaceful and peace-loving people, insurgency-free state, as you all know. So we have contributed many things in, in our country. So, hello.
Yeah. So, Mr. Gatso, what would your advice be to the members of the film industry? Because, you know, Priyanka Chopra's statement, even though she has apologized, the fact is it shows a lack of awareness about the state, doesn't it?
Yes. He has done a great mistake by saying all these things, which you have said. But anyway, we appeal all the film industry to come about to Sikkim. We will give them peace and security. Nothing to worry about Sikkim. We will give all our support, plus all logistical support and all. We all invite them to come to Sikkim to see their films and all. So because Sikkim is a, completely organic state, plus we have a very pure and, pure atmosphere here. Everything is organic, Hello?
Right. So people in Sikkim are very large-hearted, sir. But do you feel that despite this controversy, her film, Pahuna, will get a big reception in the state of Sikkim? Or do you feel that people would be angry with it?
Yes, we will try. We will try. We are just, trying to get something out of it. Let's see what happens. Okay?
Yeah.
Hello?
But do you feel, sir, that there needs to be more awareness? The film industry, especially Bollywood, if they are focusing a lot on Sikkim, if they are making a movie, they should visit the state and get to know about the ground reality?
Yeah, they'll come to know, they should, before shooting their film, they should come to, research on Sikkim also, Hello?
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Gatso, for joining us. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Let's now listen into Priyanka Chopra. She spoke after the Toronto International Film Festival. Let's listen in.
And it's a big time for you too, because you have a film at TIFF too.
Yes, which is a film Dogma, which I produced.
So that's this year, right?
Yes.
Okay, so and tell us about that project.
Well, this is a Sikkimese film. Sikkim is a small state in the northeast of India, which never had a film industry or anyone who made films from there. And this is the first film ever that's come out of that region, because it's very troubled with insurgency and like troubling situations. So I'm very excited, and this is a film about two kids and their perspective on the refugee crisis, on being moved from one place to the other without understanding why they're suddenly packing their bags and leaving, and religion, and it speaks about all of those things, but from a kid's perspective. So it's very exciting.
All right, let's go across to Akanksha Swaroop for the latest. Akanksha, give us a sense of the kind of reactions we're seeing from the Bollywood fraternity after Priyanka Chopra made those remarks, because we spoke to a Sikkim minister a short while back, and those remarks have clearly not gone down very well.
Absolutely, Parikshit. Since her comments have just surfaced right now, we are yet to, speak to the industry and get their reactions on this. But clearly,
all right,
there's no
Akanksha, stay with us. We have Baichung Bhutia, a football star from the state, joining us here on the phone line. Baichung Bhutia, did you feel hurt when you heard Priyanka Chopra's statement that Sikkim is hurt or torn by insurgency, and hers is the first film from the region?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Baichung, can you hear us?
I can, but there's a lot of disturbance. A lot of people are talking. I think
Okay, I'm going to speak a little louder. Baichung, did you feel hurt when you heard Priyanka Chopra saying that her film is the first from the region, from Sikkim, and secondly, that Sikkim is torn by insurgency?
No, I think it is a big statement what Priyanka is making, and I'm quite surprised, especially a person like Priyanka, who's also from who's intellectually one of the intellectually great Bollywood star, and you can understand a lot of other Bollywood stars making, but especially Priyanka Chopra, who's intellectually quite aware of what's happening around in the world, plus India, made such statement. It's quite surprising. So yes, it has hurt a lot of people in Sikkim, because I think there is issues in Northeast in terms of insurgency, but I think the awareness is what I think a lot of people in India are not aware. The Northeast is clubbed, especially everyone is clubbed as they portray as one thing. But a lot of states in Northeast are very peaceful and beautiful. So I think you can't portray every state in Northeast as affected with insurgency.
And Baichung, you're a prominent sportsperson from Sikkim. Do you somehow feel that there is a complete lack of awareness on the ground, because there are so many sportspersons, musicians, actors, filmmakers who've come from that region, even journalists for that matter. So do you feel there is lack of awareness about the contribution of Sikkim?
No, definitely there is a lack of awareness regarding the northeastern states. And I'm sure even Priyanka making that statement must have been somebody must have informed her wrongly. So it's definitely, I think a lot of people, not much aware, but definitely things improved a lot, because I think there's been a lot of now people from Northeast going outside mainland India, studying, working. So there's a lot of people-to-people communication, and it's much, much better than what it used to be when I first went to play, outside Sikkim. So now it's much better, but still I think awareness is still something which, we've got to have people from mainland India be more aware of Northeast states.
Yeah. And do you feel most hurt by the fact that everyone paints Sikkim with the same brush? You just generalize that if there is one state in the Northeast which faces insurgency, be it Manipur or in Assam, you just tend to paint the entire Northeast with one brush?
That's true. I think that's the reason why right now I'm in Sikkim, and a lot of people have been speaking about it, my friends, families here, and they do feel hurt, especially, as I said, it's from Priyanka Chopra, who's quite a sensible and intellectually quite, she's one of the most intellectual actors we have today in Bollywood as well. And so making that big statement irresponsibly is quite shocking. So people are definitely hurt. So I'm sure, I think she's also been misguided or misinformed about the state regarding the insurgency.
Yeah, and she also made one statement that her film, Pahuna, is the first from the region. This is the first film to be ever made from Sikkim about Sikkim. Is this really correct?
No, I don't think that's right. I think that's the first movie, produced by somebody outside Sikkim, especially from Bollywood. And in fact, I have a small cameo role in her movie as well. So I'm doing a small part in that. So it's not the first movie that's been made in Sikkim. There are a lot of movies, local movies that's been made here. But I think the entire cast is, I think, from Sikkim. It's a movie that's been produced by somebody from Bollywood, and I think that's the first of its kind, but definitely not the first movie made out of Sikkim.
And your final comments, Baichung, before we let you go, what would your advice be to the entire film industry? There is little knowledge about the Northeast, and do you feel statements like these do a disservice to the people there?
So I think there are a few, films been made in Sikkim. In fact, a lot of few Bollywood movies are being made in Sikkim. But I think it's very important that Bollywood movies are also shot in this region, not just in Sikkim, but the Northeast states as well. And I think that because Bollywood movies are the best way to reach out to people and also create awareness and educate people from different parts of the country. So I think it would be nice to see a lot of Bollywood movies are also shot in this region, and that's how the awareness is being reached out.
All right. Thanks very much, Baichung Bhutia, for joining us and sharing your views. All right. Let me go across to my colleague Akanksha Swaroop now, joining us from our Mumbai studios. Akanksha, we've heard a top minister from the state. We've heard Baichung Bhutia, that legendary footballer. And they all feel that these kind of statements really hurt the sentiments of people on the ground, because Sikkim has contributed a lot to India, and painting Sikkim with one brush, just as you would do for the entire Northeast, is wrong at some level. So what are the kind of reactions you've been getting from the Bollywood fraternity and also those close to Priyanka Chopra?
You know, Parikshit, to actually right now claim that, Bollywood is reacting would be a little early to jump to any conclusion, considering Bollywood always remains to be a mute spectator. But as far as, this whole incident goes, we would request Bollywood to actually take up a stand and speak out, considering this is just utter ignorance on part of Priyanka Chopra. If you are ignorant about something, you cannot just assume that, a particular place is marginalized. As you rightly said, that insurgency might be a problem somewhere else, but it's not really a problem in Sikkim, and we all know how much importance the state is given in the country. As far as Bollywood is also concerned, a lot of films have been shot in Sikkim, be it a pub, be it a rock-on, and just the recently released Rangoon, Koila starring Shah Rukh Khan, all these films have been shot extensively in Sikkim. So that goes on to say how important Sikkim is to Bollywood also. And not just that, we have veteran actors like Danny hailing from Sikkim. Apart from that, it comes very shocking that it's coming from somebody like Priyanka Chopra, who's an international figure. Just till yesterday, posts about her being the UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador were doing the rounds. We saw her interacting with Syrian refugee kids and, in Jordan for all the work that she's been doing as the Goodwill Ambassador for UNICEF. Why be so ignorant for your own country?
That's right, that's right. And we have many musicians, we have sports persons, we have actors, we have journalists coming out of Sikkim, and this is something that's not gone down very well. Very recently, Priyanka Chopra made that statement at the Toronto International Film Festival. She said that Sikkim is affected by insurgency and hers is the first film from the region, and that's something that's not gone down well. We've heard Mr. Gyatso, a minister from Sikkim cabinet, we've heard from Baichung Bhutia, and we will be joined by more individuals, more celebrities from Sikkim in a short while from now. Baichung Bhutia, of course, one. Danny Denzugappa, as my colleague pointed out, Omi Gurung is another very well-known journalist from there as well. Gitanjali Thapa is another one. But going back to Akanksha now for the latest. Akanksha, usually Bollywood sticks with each other. Whenever there are these kind of controversies, they stick with their brothers and sisters. What has been... All right, Akanksha, stay with us. We're trying to listen in to what Priyanka Chopra said once, and then we'll come back to you for more on that.
And it's a big time for you too, because you have a film at TIFF too.
Yes, which is the film I'm talking about, which I produced.
So that's this year, right?
Yes.
Okay, so and tell us about that project.
Well, this is a Sikkimese film. Sikkim is a small state in the northeast of India, which never had a film industry or anyone who made films from there. And this is the first film ever that's come out of that region, because it's very troubled with insurgency and troubling situations. Yeah. So I'm very excited, and this is a film about two kids and their perspective on the refugee crisis, on being moved from one place to the other without understanding why they're suddenly packing their bags and leaving, and religion, and it speaks about all of those things, but from a kid's perspective. So it's very exciting.
All right, there you heard Priyanka Chopra. Let's go back to Akanksha now for the latest. So, Akanksha, what has been the reaction of people close to Priyanka Chopra? She's believed to have apologized.
We are not aware as yet as far as any apology is concerned, but we will be on the lookout, as we all know that most of these actors who want to apologize will probably just write 2 lines of an apology on Twitter. But the damage is already done. She's already been to an international film festival, which is like Toronto Film Festival. We all know is a much highly acclaimed film festival. She's already gone.
Completely run out of time.
She's already gone.
Yeah, we've completely run out of time, Priyanka, but thanks very much for joining, thanks very much, Akanksha, for joining us with that update. This is a story that we will continue focusing on.